What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, and welcome back to another new video. So in a few weeks we have another event with the M3 where we're gonna go do another time attack out at MSR Crescent, and we've got kind of all of our new parts. So we got all the new SPL on, we have the diff lift kit, and we kind of changed our alignment slightly. It's not really too many big changes, but we did go down a little bit on the front camber, or a little bit less front camber, a little bit more rear camber, and then a little bit less aggressive toe. I don't want to be destroying tires on the street or anything for, you know, when I drive on the weekends. We're all set, and we just have a few last little maintenance things to do to the M3 before we're ready to go. We're gonna get started on those today, and we're actually gonna add one more set of brake cooling, and this is going to be the final piece of all of my brake endeavors with these blue calipers, so that I'll be done, and hopefully, you know, everything is as good as we can make it on this brake setup, and we're gonna see what we can do. So let's get into it, and I'll show you what all we got to do. So the first thing we have are these brake scoops. So I had these 3D printed. I kind of talked about these a little bit before, and these are going to sit on the lower control arm. So the lower control arm will sit right here in this gap, right here, and then it just zip ties to the lower control arm. So it'll zip tie to the new SPL lower control arm here in the front. And then this is going to be our ducting, which is going to be run with the hose to our second duct spot, which you guys saw is right behind the caliper. That'll be our second piece of cooling, and then hopefully we've got everything set for the car. You know, we've been kind of spending a lot of time trying to get all this brake ducting all finished up, and I'm really thinking that it's gonna perform pretty well. We should be pretty good on track. So this will be a good time to test it. It's gonna be warm, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be a nice summer day. But one other thing that I think is pretty cool is one thing you do have to be a little bit concerned about, and we'll test, you know, we'll try and get some data on it when we do it, is that you don't want to be overcooling your brakes. And that is definitely something I've been considering, and I definitely don't want to run into, and it can even be something that you kind of have to worry about on the street. You don't want to be getting too much air, and then, you know, on the highway you're just sitting there cruising. You don't want your brakes to get like super cold and then just be icy as you use them. And I will say with these new pads, they aren't the best at cold. They still stop pretty well, but they definitely don't stop how they should. So something that he provided with these is, you can tell these are like little zip ties here, and that's like holding this front scoop section on. Well, if you take those zip ties out, he supplies these cover plates. So we can leave the brake ducting in place. We don't need to move it at all, but we can add these block off plates, and then we are blocking all the airflow from them, so we don't have to worry if it's raining like it is today. We can probably not if it's on the street, but if it's raining like it is today, then we could definitely, you know, get underneath there, throw these block off plates on track, and we're not going to be scooping up any water and throwing them right onto our rotors, which probably wouldn't be the best idea on track. Excited to get those on. I'm just gonna run these with some hosing, some spare hosing that I have. They're gonna go to that second ducting location in the rear. So it comes with just these two scoops and just these two block off plates. That's everything that I need, because I already have the backing plate. This is part of the race kit, and I did have him custom make these a little bit. I sent him measurements of the SPL arms so that we were able to compare what they were like compared to the OEM lower control arms. So we should be all set to go. And then we're also gonna go ahead and do an oil change today. So I'm gonna get the front end of the car up. I think it's been like maybe around 1,800 miles or so. And I think it's been, let's see, we went to Coda and we went to MSR Crescent last time. So it's been 2 track days, which is really, or 2 track events, which has been 4 days. It's time for us to go ahead and do another oil change. I mean, they're so easy on this car, so why not? And then later we're gonna go ahead and do an oil change on the Cayenne and prep it for towing again to the track. We've got that track day coming up. That's in 1 week. Super excited for that. It's another little lap attack. This time it's only a 1-day event, so won't have as many laps. We're only gonna be running on the 1.7 course, so it's definitely not as long, and we'll probably get a decent amount of laps. I think there's about 20 to 25 people that signed up for the lap attack classing. So it should be some decent competition. Again, I will not be competitive. I'm hoping to go set some personal bests, and I like being in the, you know, the time attack group. It's a little bit more fun to compete, have that little bit of edge. It kind of pushes you a little bit harder, but also the guys in there are really good about passing and whatnot. I definitely like being in that group a little bit more. But other than that, we're all set to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. We'll get the front end up in the air. We're gonna start on the brakes first, and then we'll get that oil change going. Okay guys, so to give you an idea, here we have the lower control arm, and basically what this is gonna do is sit just like this, and you can see it's kind of made for that like little groove right here on the back. Just sits right up onto the control arm. And there we have it. That's our scoop. You can see it's like level with the bottom of the car. So we're not going to be adding any extra lower clearance. And obviously this arm, you know, when the suspension's compressed as the car is on the ground, the arm will go up. We're not reducing our ground clearance by any bit, but here we have our scoop, and it's just gonna sit, and we're just gonna zip tie it up like this here onto this arm, and then we'll run this ducting here in the back. I'll cut the hose to the right length and get it all situated. So let's get this thrown on, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I cut my 2 pieces of tubing that I need to the right size. This is about 11.5 to 12 inches on either side. And now we are gonna route them out. It's really close right here. So you can see that's the duct, and then it goes literally right back here to the back of the caliper. I'm gonna go ahead and get this side on. I've kind of already test fit it without like securing it down. I test fit it and then rotate the wheel both ways, and everything looks good. It looks like we have plenty of clearance. It gets close to the brake line, but doesn't touch. And then it has plenty of room when we go the long direction. It stretches out plenty of far. This is a little bit too big a hose. I think this is 2.5 inch. And this is kind of made for a 2 inch. So you can see it's got like a little bit of extra room on there. So we're gonna have to cinch it down pretty tight. And then this stuff is also pretty stiff. So if you end up finding one, or you end up doing this kit, I recommend you get something a little bit softer, so it's a little bit more pliable. And since I'm just zip tying this down, that's probably something I'm gonna end up looking to get in the future, is a little bit of a softer material so that it just has a little bit more flex back there. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this thrown on this side, and then it's all thrown up and installed. Okay, so we've got it all installed. You can see it right there. It's all in place, and I'm gonna show you what it kind of looks like as it rotates through here. So you can kind of see it moving. That's straight again. So that'll be, it's like relaxed down the straight position. And then this is fully turned the other direction. So you see that is our fully extended position. So we have clearance everywhere. Everything looks good, and I think we're all set to go to the other side. And just like that, the second side is finished. So we are all routed back here. Everything's all tied up. I checked the clearances. Everything looks good. So I'll throw up some photos of what this one looks like on screen. So everything looks good over here. Pretty happy with the way this kit came out. I think, you know, just having that little bit of extra cooling will definitely help. I'm probably gonna look into changing the hosing that I'm using. Probably want to go to a softer hosing, just so it's a little bit more pliable back there, because it is pretty tight. We'll see how it does. I think we should have some pretty good success coming up here on our track day in a few days, and I'm looking forward to it. Now that we've finished the brake ducting and we're all done for the cooling, let's go ahead and get started on doing the maintenance oil change. Well guys, I was about to button everything back up and I actually totally forgot, but I have a Mosselman oil thermostat to replace the stock one. And what better time to do it than when I'm already doing an oil change. You know, we kind of got a little bit of space cleared up here, but we will need to be getting the brace off, and we're gonna go ahead and have to take the front intake off as well. But yeah, I got the thermostat sitting here. So this is from Mosselman. This is an oil thermostat. Basically the biggest benefit of this is that we're gonna be getting a lower thermostat temperature. So I think it sits at like 185 to 190 rather than the like 220 that this one sits at. So just a little bit better oil cooling going on in the engine, but it also kind of gets rid of this nasty aluminum looking one that has all this annoying oxidation marks on it. And we will be replacing it, but I did forget that I do need this gasket. So I had to run to BMW real quick, go pick this up so that I can replace this. So you will be needing this. It does actually come in the kit, but I got this kit from a buddy and he had already used the gaskets. So I don't have them, but I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this off so that we can get to the oil thermostat and get this thing replaced. so we've got everything out of the way. We got the intake out, we got the brace out. So now we're ready to go ahead and take this off. So firstly, there's gonna be this bolt right here. This is a T30, and then there are 3 E-Torques. So this is an E12. There's one right here behind here as well. And then if you move this line kind of out of the way, once you remove this Torx bolt here on the top, this little brace down here on the bottom, this little cover plate drops down, and then it gives you access to the 3rd bolt. It's a little hard to see, but there's a 3rd bolt underneath here. And once you take this out, then this clears up and it's out of the way. So you'll have plenty of room, and you'll just have to kind of move this line a little bit to get to this one. It's a little tricky, but not too big of a deal. Let's go ahead and get this off. I'll show you the difference, and we'll throw on the new one. Okay, so you guys can see that's all finished up now. So we got the old one off, and as you can see, it kind of made a mess. It dripped oil like all the way down here, and it's just a pain getting this off, and it like kind of splattered all over here. I can see there's like oil all the way down there, but I'm gonna try and wipe up as much as I can. I already got most of it up, but basically what we're gonna do is just go ahead and replace this gasket right here. So this is the oil filter housing gasket. The kit also comes with these 2 O-rings to replace, so you can also replace those if you want. And let's take a look at the difference between the two. So here you can see this is the old one, and then now here is the Mosselman one. This is a super pretty unit. I really like the billet. Looks really nice. Like I said, it's just a different thermostat temperature in there. Everything looks otherwise pretty similar. It comes with all new hardware, so we get all 3 new bolts, and then they also supply a new bolt for the downward side as well. Other than that, we are all set to go. So let's go ahead and get this one thrown on. I'm gonna go replace that gasket, and then we're good to go. There you have it, guys. It's all on, it's all installed, everything's tightened up. All 3 of these bolts are all torqued up, and then we got this top bolt here that goes straight down and holds this plate up. So we hold these 2 lines in place. So everything is tight here, so it's time to get everything thrown back onto the car, and then we can go ahead and fill the oil and check for leaks. We're all set to go. There you have it, guys. We are all finished up, so everything's all back together. I just had the car on for a few minutes just to see if I could see any leaks, and so far I don't see anything yet. So I think we're all good and set to go. Everything looks really good underneath here. I'm happy with the way this came out. Actually, I love having this here. I just think it looks so much better than the stock one that has, you know, all that oxidizing on it and whatnot. But I'm looking forward to, you know, kind of getting some other things done here in the engine bay. There's not really going to be too much. I'm probably going to stay stock airbox for a while. These are actually really efficient, in case anybody didn't know. If you do like intakes, basically the only ones that are worth doing are even cherry. They're the only ones that actually provide like some performance gain. And I'm just not sure if it's worth the like $3,000 that they cost. I think it's like 2,800 bucks. I will do charge pipes. I'm looking at doing some silicone ones. Those are the best for heat reduction. So those are pretty cheap. I'll probably do those, you know, at some point here in the near future. And then I'm also going to be doing a top mount intercooler at some point. I'm probably going to go Wagner. That's one of the best and performing ones, as well as something that fits with this hood. It's confirmed fitment that it doesn't rub there in the back with the Wagner. I think that'll look really good. And then Bimmer World actually makes this cooling reservoir, the one back here. They make that in a billet piece because that can crack sometimes, and you don't want that to ruin your track day. For just such a, you know, just a simple crack that would completely throw off your whole weekend. I think everything up here looks really good. I'm excited for, you know, what's to come. I'll probably take it for a little bit of a drive tomorrow just to make sure that the oil's good. If you guys know, you have to do that annoying, like, let it warm up and drive it for like 20 minutes before it lets you check the oil. Just so dumb, because what if you were low, you know, like it could be doing damage and it wouldn't know. But everything is all put back together and we are all set to go. We got those brake ducts down here. Those are all set, wheels back on and everything, so we're looking good. I think those are going to do really well. I'm kind of excited. It looks really cool underneath there, having, you know, all the cooling now. Other than that, I think the car is all set, and we're ready to go. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.